The Atlanta Falcons are no strangers to defensive struggles. Over the last 5 years, they've seen a revolving door of defensive coordinators and thrown resources at rebuilding that side of the ball through free agency, the draft, and trades. But despite all the efforts, they're still sitting near the bottom of the league in defensive performance. So, what's the problem? And more importantly, is Raheem Morris the answer to their defensive woes? Hey, football fans, welcome back to the channel where we break down the NFL's biggest stories and analyze your favorite teams. Today, we're diving deep into the Atlanta Falcons and their revamped defense. Specifically, we're talking about why Raheem Morris needs to play a major role in shaping the Falcons' new-look defense. Buckle up because this one is going to be detailed. Let's start with some context. The Falcons have cycled through 4 defensive coordinators in just 5 seasons. This kind of instability is never good for a team trying to build chemistry and consistency. And yet, despite the turnover and massive investments, the results speak for themselves. Last season, they finished 23rd in scoring defense, 31st in sacks, and 25th in defensive EPA. Simply put, they've been a liability on defense. But there's a glimmer of hope. Enter Raheem Morris, the Falcons head coach, who stepped into a larger defensive role last season. And here's the interesting part. After their Week 12 bye, the Falcons were 2nd in the league in sacks with 21. That's a major improvement, but it didn't translate into overall success. Let's unpack that a little more. So why does Raheem Morris's involvement matter? For starters, Morris has shown he's capable of adapting on the fly. When he took over as interim head coach after Dan Quinn's firing, he elevated Jeff Ulbrich to defensive coordinator, and the results were promising. Over the final 11 games, the Falcons ranked 14th in scoring defense, allowing just 23 points per game. That's a big leap for a team that struggled so much early on. Now, fast forward to today. Jeff Ulbrich is back in Atlanta as the defensive coordinator, reuniting with Morris. Ulbrich's track record is mixed. While he had some success in New York with the Jets, especially in metrics like success rate and yards per play, his defenses struggled after head coach Robert Saleh's departure. Falcons fans, understandably, aren't sold on this hire. It feels like another safe choice, keeping things in-house rather than taking a bold swing. But here's where things get interesting. If Morris takes a larger role in the defensive game planning and potentially even play calling, the Falcons might finally unlock the potential of this unit. Why? Because Morris has something to prove. This isn't just about fixing the defense, it's about securing his future in Atlanta. If the Falcons miss the playoffs again, Morris could be polishing up his resume next offseason. Let's not forget the tools he has to work with. The Falcons have poured resources into their defense over the years. Whether it's drafting talent or making key free agent signings, the pieces are there. It's now about putting them together in a way that works. And that starts with leadership. Now, let's take a closer look at Jeff Ulbrich. He's been around the NFL for a while, and his experience isn't in question, but does his track record suggest he's the right man for the job? When he was with the Jets, he helped them achieve some respectable metrics, 8th in success rate and 4th in yards per play allowed in 2020. But those numbers dipped significantly in subsequent seasons, especially after Robert Saleh's exit. It's clear that Ulbrich needs strong leadership above him to thrive. That's why Morris's involvement is so crucial. So what does success look like for the Falcons defense in 2025? Here are 3 key metrics to watch. Scoring defense. Can they break into the top 15? Sacks. Consistency matters. Can they maintain that post-week 12 form? Defensive efficiency. Metrics like EPA and success rate will tell us if this unit is truly improving or just making splash plays. But let's dig deeper. Success isn't just about stats. It's about creating a defensive identity. Are the Falcons aggressive, opportunistic, disciplined? These are the intangibles that Morris and Ulbrich need to define. The good news is, the Falcons have shown they can be competitive when their defense holds its own. But the margin for error is razor thin in the NFC South. And with teams like the Saints and Buccaneers retooling, Atlanta can't afford another year of mediocrity. The big question is, can Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich make this defense more than just serviceable? Or are we looking at another season of what ifs? For Morris, it's about more than just wins and losses. It's about solidifying his legacy and securing his job. If he succeeds, the Falcons could be playoff contenders. If he fails, well, it might be time for another rebuild. So what do you think? Can Raheem Morris step up and turn this defense around, or are the Falcons doomed to repeat the same mistakes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth NFL analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.